Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christy and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 tips that I have for getting up in the morning or just being, not necessarily becoming a morning person, but I really believe in just waking up and having a purpose and knowing what you want to do and having a morning routine, because for me, a lot of days actually is very hard to wake up, and especially during the winter where it's just so gloomy here in Vancouver. I get a lot of days where I just want to stay in bed, and I think at the end of January that's what happened to me. I ended up sleeping in for most of my days, and not that sleeping in is necessarily a bad thing, but I think when you want to be productive and when you want to achieve things, sleeping in is one of those obstacles that just come in the way of things. And whenever I sleep in, I just get so guilty and it ruins my productivity and mood for the rest of the day. But I want to tell you guys that that doesn't have to happen. And so if you guys are interested in this topic, then keep watching, grab some drinks or anything. I have my matcha latte. I might look awkward because I'm actually holding my phone and it's recording my audio, but I don't know, I saw this other YouTuber do this and it just felt like it looks so cool, and I don't have a mic yet, so this is what I'm doing. But yeah, anyways, we'll just jump straight to the video. So the number one tip the first thing I do when I open my eyes in the morning is I will turn on some sort of lights. And especially now, or depending where you live, if it's very gloomy and it's just not the brightest in the morning, especially at 8 or 9 or something, when you want to wake up and it's not bright enough, I highly recommend getting a bedside lamp or something that you can just turn on. I have a little system going on and I give myself 3 chances to basically wake up. The first time I wake up, I have to turn on my bedside lamp, and that's one that's bright enough that it keeps me awake, but also if I want to go back to sleep, I can do that. And so the bedside lamp, and then number 2, I like to turn on my actual light, so my room light, and lastly number 3 is to open my blinds. Basically letting light into your room will really help wake up your system. And another thing that I would recommend is the wake up light, and this is something that I don't own, but I know that it's really helpful for people. I just haven't justified the money, but it's definitely a really great gift for someone if you know that they're struggling with waking up. And people actually use things called happy light, especially in the winter when people experience seasonal depression, and it's really helpful. And so even right now, my ring light, I've tested it out on the days that I feel very down and I'm unmotivated. I have my ring light out shining towards my wall when I'm working, and it actually makes me feel so much more productive. And yeah, number 2 is one that's one of my favorite tips for people who are trying to wake up earlier and become, I guess, a morning person, but you really have to find something that you enjoy to do in the morning. And this can be different for everyone. Some people like to go and just jump straight into watching some Korean dramas. Not me, I do that at night. But for me in the morning, I actually find a lot of peace in doing yoga and stretching, and that's something that I'm trying to work on this year because I'm not very consistent with it, but every time I do it, it just makes me feel very good about myself, and I don't know why that doesn't motivate me to do it even more. But I don't know if you guys have that similar experience, but for example, if you exercise, sometimes you just get a really good exercise and you're like, why don't I exercise more? But I know we're just all humans, and so it's kind of hard to do things every single day if you're not disciplined like me. But yeah, stretching, yoga is one of the things that I love doing. Another thing I love doing is my coffee routine. I honestly don't think of it as a routine. It's more like a ritual, and it's kind of your award for waking up in the morning. And the weird thing about me is that I actually like the process of making my coffee or my matcha latte, everything. I like the process of doing it a lot more than the actual drink. It's just so much fun, and it just also grounds me in the morning before I get to work, because I think that before you're a student, before you study, before you work for a company or for something, you are yourself, and so you need to celebrate that in the morning, especially before you dive into work emails, school, reviewing and all that kind of stuff. I think it's very important to cater to yourself as a human first because we are all humans after all. Number 3 is to get to know your body. And this is the whole idea of just really like finding comfort in the process of trying out different things for your morning routine, because honestly, there is no perfect routine. There might be one for you, but like, I don't know about you, but for me, when I find a good routine, it only works for a certain amount of time, and then I want to change things up again. And it can be scary, change can be scary, but I highly encourage you to keep trying out new things, keep exploring like new ideas and new like order of like your routines, because nothing is really fixed in life, especially if you're like me and I work off a lot of spontaneous energy. Once something gets set into place, I kind of start to get bored of it, and that's just me. I know that that's like my personality, but I think in general, it's just always nice to change things up, and don't be scared of the discomfort that comes in trying new things, because you never know until you try. And so be patient if you don't have the perfect routine yet, because we are all going through life and so many things in life are just thrown at us. At the end of the day, like, you want to be able to be in control of your routine. Like, don't do things that just work for other people. I cannot do heavy exercises in the morning. I get so tired. I think for me, my body especially cannot handle like 7 a.m. workouts for like 2 hours at the gym. Like, that's something that's not me, but I know that it works for other people, and I'm not going to try and stop them, but I'm not also going to force myself to do it. I saw something on TikTok recently where it was basically talking about how we shouldn't set resolutions and like goals on things that we dislike doing, because that's kind of counterproductive. If you don't like doing something, why would you force yourself to do it more? And that really just stuck with me, because I think in the past I used to watch all these like New Year resolutions videos, and it would just motivate me so much, but in terms of taking action, I don't, because I just get so overwhelmed with these big goals, and I'm like, I can't do that, but I want to do that. But at the end of the day, it's not what you want to do, and it's what you can do and what you are willing to do. And now moving on to number 4, this is one that is pretty obvious but often overlooked, and that's just setting up your bedroom for success. And that sounds weird. I should have worded that better, but basically at the end of every night, even before your morning, I think it's very important to clean up your room, to maybe set up your workout clothes if you want to work out, or set up your journal so you can journal in the morning. Like for me, I clean my room, I fill up a full bottle of water. This one, my favorite one, it's the fog color in this water bottle. I forgot the name. But anyways, water bottle. I make sure everything is nice, especially my desk. Besides my bed, it's the second biggest thing in my room, and so I just want it to look clean and tidy in the morning. And yeah, so set yourself up for success. Your morning routine honestly starts on how you treat your night routine, and maybe I'll do another video on night routine, but just remember that your morning routine starts with your night routine. And number 5, which is my biggest tip, but also I left it at the end, because after everything you do from 1 to 4, I just want to say that don't feel guilty if you don't do those things. I honestly think that feeling of guiltiness is what is keeping us away from achieving our goals. And like I mentioned in the beginning, I used to sleep in, and I would just feel so guilty, and it would affect my entire day. And that's because I let it affect my day. Like, honestly, if you wake up at like 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., there is nothing wrong with that. And if you really think that that's something you want to change, then work on changing it. Like, you don't have to let that wake up time define your entire day. Growing up in like an Asian household, I have this philosophy of going to bed early and waking up early, and that's like a human principle to like good health. And while I kind of do agree to that, I just think the way that my parents enforced that on me was kind of like not in the right tone. And so it was very hard to accept myself whenever I slept in. But honestly, I tend to realize that when I get into a habit of feeling guilty, it becomes a system, because I feel guilty about something, so I get less motivated, and then I don't do it as much, and then I feel guilty again. And so it's a constant like cycle if you let yourself feel guilty, and especially if it's about something that you do. Honestly, you have control of your own emotions, so I highly recommend to just like throw away that guilty feeling. Practice being productive even if you wake up late. I think practice is also one thing that just everything starts to get better and easier once you do it more, and that happens for overcoming like failures, I guess, too. Like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm throwing so many big words out there, but basically, don't feel guilty. We're all humans. These are normal things that humans do. Even productive people can wake up late. So like, you do you. Like, honestly, like, you don't have to be this idea of productive that the society sets for us, because it's different for everyone. And the last thing we want is to start our day off with that negative association already to waking up, because that's the first thing we do in the morning. And so like, maybe we can just try and bring some positivity into our day from the start and not start off like feeling bad about ourselves. And yeah, that's it for today. I feel like I kind of rambled, but that's because this video was honestly made very last minute, and some days I'm just naturally more energized than others, and other days I am the opposite, and that's just me. And I just like, a big part of my channel is just being myself, and I hope you guys can be yourself too, especially if you're watching my videos. Like get comfy, like grab your snacks or anything. Like, my videos, they might seem serious from the title, but it's meant to be casual, and if it doesn't come off across that way, like, let me know, I will work on it. But yeah, so that's it for today. And also I want to say thank you so much, because recently we reached 3K subscribers, and it's just crazy because I think like 2 weeks ago we just hit 2K. I'm super grateful, but my brain is still processing everything, and I just can't believe that like people are subscribing to me. But yeah, so that is it. I get really shy when I talk about my channel, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. I know this video is a bit different because I'm just like being awkwardly me, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.